what a great month for YouTubers making horror films, I tell ya. Hello, my name is Seth. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing / rating the movie, The Backrooms. Now, this movie is directed by Kane Parsons, and the cast stars Renata Reinsfeld as Mary, Chua Ochafor as Clark, sorry if I mispronounced it, and Mark Duplass as Phil. Now, this is one of my most anticipated movies of the month of May, and really just in the year alone. I like Backrooms and the whole universe and lore behind it. Also, too, I just love Level Spaces, too. I think they're really cool and unique, you know? And how it all really got started was from a photo someone took of a furniture store that is getting shutting down in Wisconsin back in like the late 2000s or early 2010s, if I'm not mistaken. So he takes the picture, you know, posted it online, and the whole internet just goes crazy with their thoughts, opinions, and just stories of what all this picture could entail, you know? And really when you look at the photo, you're kind of thinking of, wow, that place looks very familiar and stuff like that. Like, you know, like you've not been to that furniture place, but you've been to a place that looks very familiar, you know, with that set design, all that stuff, you know? And also too, the photo gives you this eerie, like, uncomfortable vibe to it. So one of those people even too that had a just creative thought or a story that could be told with just that photo alone was Kane Parsons, who is the director of this movie. And he has a YouTube channel called Kane Pixels, and he did a series on, I guess, his universe of what he thought that picture could be, you know, and stuff like that. And it's very creative and good. Highly recommend if you have not seen it, you know. So it got so good, you know, that he even got to make a movie about it, you know, that's in theaters now. Now, I wouldn't say he's the founder of Backrooms, you know, but he definitely helped make it famous and for what it is today, you know. And really with that, you get to see in this movie, you know, just a love letter to the Backrooms, you know. It has some of his stuff that was in his series when he did that, some of the stuff that wasn't even in his stuff that's just lore and just, you know, to the Backrooms, and just Level Spaces in general. As I say, it's really just a love letter to the Backrooms, you know. And when I heard that they were going to make this movie, I was super excited because you got Kane Parsons, who has done a great job of his series, and just really knows the style and the message and the story he wants to tell in this movie. And then on top of that, you got Renata Reinsfeld, who was in one of my favorite movies last year, Sentimental Value. And then you got Chua Ochafor, you know, who's done great jobs with his acting, you know, and performances in other movies too. And then you got Mark Duplass, who's a great actor too, who did a movie called Creep that was a great found footage horror film, you know. Also too, Mark Duplass had just been such a, I guess a good person to help out filmmakers, you know, who want to get in the industry or just help them out in general. So yeah, when I heard that they were going to do this, oh, they were cooking. And guess what? After now seeing this movie, they cooked. They were right. All my love, anticipation for this was definitely deserved. They did a great job in this movie. Hats off to Kane Parsons and the cast too. Renata Reinsfeld, Chua Ochafor, and Mark Duplass. And everybody else too that helped out in this movie. Now, this movie, too, is in the universe of his series, and as I said, just the lore, but really, his series, too, this movie adds another layer to, you know, to what his universe all is and what he made it out of, you know? Because the message that this movie is trying to tell you is really deeper and stuff like that, and I really won't tell you what the deeper message is. I'm going to skirt around it, you know, and stuff. And really what all entails is this movie tries to show you, you know, really the paths you can take in life and stuff like that. You can go one way or you can go the other way, and the choices you take with those paths in life. Kind of in a sense too, like the cards you get dealt with in your life. Now, let's get into it. Clark is a manager at a furniture store, and he's really an ambitious, career-driven person. But at the same time too, he's a whiny and just stubborn person. He's upset that his life's not going the way he thought it would go. So he goes to therapy, which is now how we get Renata Reinsfeld character, Mary. Now, she's had a hard life too, but throughout this movie, you'll see they go to different paths and stuff like that with how they've been dealt with things in their life. And one night when Clark's at his furniture store, he sees a little gap between the walls. So he gets a little closer to it, and when he gets a little, as I say, as he gets closer to it, he just jumps into the universe. Now I know they have a term for that in the backrooms, I just can't remember it at the top of my head at the moment, but he just jumps into the universe, and throughout the movie he really explores the whole backrooms, and really gets to see what all entails of that universe and what it brings to it, you know? Now, this movie is really key on details, and it has to be, because it's the backrooms, you know? Now, from what I know of the backrooms, I don't know everything, but, you know, once you jump into that universe, there's so much rooms and stuff like that, and they all have little different shapes and sizes of the rooms, and sometimes even too, I think the rooms can mold and change from time, stuff like that. So if you're like, huh, I was in this room, but it's different now, that's why, you know. If I'm wrong with that, sorry, but yeah, that's what I kind of remember and stuff like that from all it is, you know. And I heard even too that they had like I don't know the exact square footage or mileage that they had, but they had a lot of rooms that they made for this movie, and rightfully so. If, you know, Kane Parsons, who made this movie, he knows what he wants to tell in this movie and how it should all look, you know, and it did a really good job on that too, you know. But yeah, this really is just a, you know, love letter to the movie, adds his series that he did on YouTube, and just adds another deeper meaning to it, and that's really a creative look in how he does that, because it still keeps the core elements of the movie, but he adds some new stuff to it that is so just great and stuff like that, and still fits into the universe. So hats off to you, Kane Parsons, great job. Now, he's not an overnight success, he's been doing this for a while, you know, with his whole series and stuff like that, and it's so impressive to see someone who had such a passion for it get to now make a movie. Now he made the movie and it's in theaters and stuff like that. My rating for this movie would be a 4 out of 5. As I say, I really truly loved his interpretation and the meaning he has in this movie, with just also to the backrooms universe and the liminal space to it. I think he did a phenomenal job. I cannot wait to see what he does more in the future, or if he does any more on the backrooms. But yeah, I loved it so much. That is my review and rating on it. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye!